Yes, sir. Monday Night Raw is
Yeah.
officially on deck. It's your boy Jarv here alongside Sincere the Rap Snob. We hope y'all
What
had
up?
a real productive and strong Monday. But today is December 4th. In my
Oh
household, it's
boy.
called Cake Day because we got the whole cape on
Oh
today.
boy.
It's the Jigger Man's birthday. You know what I'm saying? Happy
Ugh.
birthday, Hove. From yours
Yo,
truly, Jarv, and the Rap
you
Round Table.
you had me come on just by myself with you for this.
Yes,
I
yes.
can step out. I can step
You'll
away and
never,
let you have the
you'll
ISO,
never beat
bro.
the allegations. As long as I'm around, them allegations will stick. You know what I'm saying? Sincere, what's the word though, bro?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling here, man. Stu, you know what I mean?
You
Oh
sound
man,
so
I
disgusted
got.
right now.
I'm gonna have to deal with this man today. All right, you know what I mean.
Come on, man.
You
If you get
once
on
a
my
year, but you
Instagram,
get one day. You get one day out of the year. You know what I mean. I'll let you. I'll let you have
come
full
on, man.
ISO, full runway. I'm not even gonna
Come on,
argue with
man.
you. You do
Come
your
on, man.
thing.
Yo, I've been getting beat up by the Nas fans all year long. All year. I've been getting beat up. Y'all been jumping me all year. If I could get one day today, you know what I'm saying? It's today. Um,
You got
Randy
it.
Ward said, yo, where Mace at? Mace is on his way. Niggas got jobs. You know what I'm saying?
You on the way,
We,
man.
we try to figure this out and still deliver the live shows as we always promise y'all. But Mace is on the way. I don't know about Didi just yet, but Mace is definitely on the way. But y'all niggas been jumping me all year. December 4th, I'm not taking that shit. I got my black uptowns on. I got my bulletproof Hove cape on. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. Bring the eat the jokes. I do not give a
Yeah.
fuck on this particular day. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, but
Yo,
listen, listen.
that's the funny shit. You will never be able to separate those two things from December
Hell no.
4th, bro.
Fuck Nas for that.
Never in
Nas,
life,
you're
yo,
horrible.
yo, the eternal thorn.
That's called
You'll never be
that's
able to pick that thorn out of the side, bro.
pure greatness doing that shit. But listen, you see that, you see it, like, comment, subscribe. I know a lot of y'all
All of
already
that.
subscribed, but again, it's still a good, I would say 35 to 40% of the people who watch our shows, they haven't hit the subscribe button yet. Make sure I hit the subscribe button. I
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
y'all on the lunch album for hitting that like button. Y'all been following through. So again, even if this video has 1,000 views, the like button is free. Hit that like, get us to 300 likes, keep us in that algorithm, and share the shit with your people. Y'all see what y'all know what we do. Stop being selfish with this shit. You got some good crack.
Yeah.
Shout out to Coach. Good crack sells. You know
That-
what I'm saying? So share that shit with your people. You know what I'm
Get
saying?
that ratio up.
Come on
You
now.
know what I
Come on
mean?
now. You know what I'm saying? And listen, today, listen. See, JC88 already starting. Today is
Wow.
Jarv's other birthday. Relax. I only got one birthday. Golly, see, you see why y'all always gotta go so far? That's what we talking about. Y'all niggas. Oh, Air Pegasus, I'm
Oh
hungry,
shit.
y'all in the book of Hov. Yeah, oh, that was you. Salute, Air Pegasus. Salute to you.
Oh,
Shout out,
Air
you know what I'm
Pegasus,
saying?
salute, bro.
Much
Thanks
love,
for
you know what I
showing
mean?
love. Yeah,
You,
yeah.
and see, Air Pegasus likes ladies. He was there with a nice young lady, you know what I'm saying,
We
walking
love to see
around.
it.
He's now one of our viewers who hates the women. You know what I mean? He knew what he was doing on that good Sunday. You know what I
We
mean?
love to
Did you
see it,
have
man.
brunch before or after that, Mr. Pegasus? Let us know. You know what I
Yeah, let
mean?
us know, man.
But Sincere
Shit.
Rap Snob, let's get into it, bro. I'm gonna let you bat lead off while I get the links out to the people. Them the Book of
Bet.
Hope exhibit, the Rap Round Table finally made our way inside. Let us
Finally.
know what your experience was. Let's start with the pros.
Listen, well, I'm gonna start with the whole story, the whole backstory before we even got in there, man. When I
Mm-hmm.
tell you all of New York, not just all of Brooklyn, all of New York, some people were saying they was coming in from what was it, from upstate or some
Yeah,
shit?
Shorty said she came in from Albany and shit.
Albany, bro. When I tell you all of New York was out for this last week in the Book of Hove, listen, we actually pulled up, full transparency. I don't give a fuck. I ain't got
Yeah,
no ego.
you don't lie here.
We pulled up on Saturday. We was like, oh, you know what I mean? This should have been out for months. It's gonna be light. We're gonna pull up, you know what I mean, be in and out, pause. And
Hey,
enjoy our Saturday for the come out to the Brooklyn exhibit. And we pull up the fucking line. When I tell you this line was like at least 10 blocks long, bro. This
mm,
line was so crazy because I don't know how many people are familiar with the Central Brooklyn Library, but you know what I mean. It's like a central location. It's like there's like a circle there. You know what I mean. And you come out And so because it's a circle, like there's a lot of there's a lot of streets that come and intersect in that circle. So it makes a sharp turn around. So like when you pull up, you don't immediately see, like it's impossible to immediately see how long the line is, right? Because it comes out and then it makes a sharp left. So I pull up, I get there before drive. I pull up and I'm like, oh shit, okay, I see this thing is turning. So let me just turn real quick. And I tell you, when I turn and I'm like, all right, it's longer, and then I pull out even more, and it's longer, and
Hey,
it's longer,
hey,
and it's
hey,
longer.
hey, hey, hey,
And I'm like,
hey,
oh, time out,
technical
time out, time out.
foul.
I'm
Whoa.
talking about the line. There's a context here. There's a
All right,
context
all right.
here. All right. I'm talking about the line. But this line would not end, bro. Like that shit was crazy. I got to the end of the line, and honestly, it was like 4 o'clock on a Saturday, and the shit was only going to be open till 6. And we got to the end of the line. That shit was not moving, not one bit. So me and Job was like, yo, fuck it. That's it. It's a wrap for today. We're gonna call it a day. We're gonna try again tomorrow. Thankfully, it was still open on Sundays because there was talks about, you know what I mean, the library is not being open on Sundays no more. But thankfully, it was open on Sunday. We get there early. And again, we pull up, stupid line. And it was raining. This was yesterday, Sunday. It was raining. It was an ugly ass day. It was cold. Motherfuckers still pulled up. They still got a line. The line was even longer this time. I was like, and the first thought that came to my mind, as a Nas fan, as a staunch Nas fan, I can't be a big enough Nas fan like some of y'all out there to say Jay-Z is is irrelevant today, or that Jay-Z his music don't hit the same no more, or his presence ain't the same no more, or what's the thing they like to say? It hasn't aged well. Jay-Z hasn't aged
Hasn't
well
aged well.
because you know what I mean. Regardless of what people say on Twitter, regardless of what people say on YouTube, when you come out in real life and you pull up to an establishment like the Brooklyn Public Library and you see people lining up for blocks and blocks and blocks to come out to this event before it closes out, Jay-Z is as relevant as ever. Jay-Z has aged just fine. People came out in droves, and as they should. Jay-Z is a
Right.
legend. He's a lyrical legend. He's a business legend. He's an everything legend, bro. But anyway, yeah, we finally pulled up. The line yesterday moved a lot smoother than the day before, so we got in there. And it was a great exhibit. To me, the thing that I wanted to go in and see first and foremost, before anything else, was the recreation of Baseline Studios.
Oh yeah.
Me as a, you know what I mean, as a beat maker, as a producer, as an appreciator of just all around classic material, classic music, not just classic in terms of like the quality of the music, but just like timeless music that, you know what I mean, puts you in a place and time, music that was impactful at the time. You know what I mean? You had the Blueprint, you had Scarface up in there, if we remember, the joint with Jay and Scarface and Beans.
Guess who's back?
Guess who's back? Thank you. And you know, they start off saying, you know, face mob up in baseline and whatever, you know what I mean? So it, you know what I mean? Just seeing that, it takes me back to that time and that place in hip hop lore and hip hop history. So that was incredible to see. You know what I mean? The MPC 60 out there, the rolling keyboards. You know what I mean? It was an immaculate recreation of it.
The soundboard in front of the booth, bro.
The soundboard
Jesus.
was like immense. It was crazy. You had all the plaques on the walls. It was great. It was beautiful to see. You know what I mean? There was another room that showcased more so of his earlier work. You had vinyls of the original Dead Presidents 1, not the second one that ended up on Reasonable Doubt. You had an original pressing of In My Lifetime, even before Reasonable Doubt. You know what I mean? The skinny dude on the boat. You know what I mean? With the champagne and all that. You have all sorts of pictures with him in the studio, with him with Beans, him with Puff, him with, you know what I mean? You even had a picture in there with him and Nas. So you know what I mean? So that was all love. So those were probably my two favorite rooms. Of course, it's Jay. So he had rooms that were dedicated to his accomplishments, his trophies, the Grammys, the BET Awards. Me personally, that's not really my bag. You know what I mean? Like, I don't take any of the award shows all that seriously.
Well, hold on, son. Let me get in a little bit, son. Let me get in a little bit.
Yeah. But to me, the rooms that focused and the exhibits that focused on the music and the music lore and the music history, that was my bag. It was beautifully done. Shouts to Hove, happy birthday to Hove, and shouts to Book of Hove. Man, it was a dope exhibit.
First and foremost, I'm a little pissed off now.
Why
because
is that?
Jason Nelson said the cheat code was to go into the children's section and walk right in. And I remember when we were standing on the line, I seen that it was like a little frumpy white dude walking through that little side entrance. And you know what? And I looked at it, and I'm like, maybe we should fuck with that and see what happens. But I was so I was so gassed and thinking that they had everything blocked off that I didn't consider it. But then when we got inside, I remember seeing people come through the children's section. So now him saying that right now got me tight. Like, we didn't have to stand on no lines. We could have just finessed our way in from Saturday. But nevertheless, like you said, you laid it all out. You know what I mean? Like, see, now he's saying he literally waited 2 minutes. You rubbing it in now, Jason. All right. You know what I mean?
Man.
But getting in there and seeing the setup and seeing the first thing that stood out to me was how well thought out it was. Like, it was a laid out, everything was in position. It's like as you get through the first door, and it's like the little lobby area, and then once you get past the stairs and the lobby, you get into it. All the big posters and the artwork of Hove, like it was like a Hove collage and shit. And they really thought it out. All the albums, shit like that. It was really fire. Like, I see what the hype was about, because nigga like me, I don't really care about exhibits in museums. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever I have my man came, I'll probably have a couple of jerseys and whatever trophies and rap round table attains over time. I have a couple of things like that. But me going to like museums and shit like that, I didn't care. But then the more people I keep seeing posting on the socials, and they posting, and I'm looking, I say, oh, this look kind of fire. Then I'm seeing people posting about Baseline, and I'm like, this looks kind of fire. Because I'm gonna come clean. They can tell you, like, at no point was I ever really fiended out to go to the Book of Hove. It wasn't a talking point in the group chat. It wasn't a talking point really amongst the podcast. Like, I think as a pod, we did it individually. Like, Dini went Dolly, Mace went Dolly, then Sid and I was like, fuck it, this shit about to close. We got to get there before it closes. You know what I mean? Basically. It wasn't like an Uber priority, but I won't lie. Like, as I was watching all the people post it, I'm like, yo, they really thought this. I just thought it was like, all right, they got a couple of pictures of Jay-Z and some records, usual music artist shit, you know what I mean? But then you get in there, and then we get in the Baseline, and it's like, oh, this is really like, it's like to scale. It wasn't like a little room, like an escape room. It could have been a recording studio. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that was the first real like moment. Like, because we got the Blueprint 3 set up over here, we got the plaques over here, we got some artwork. All right, cool. It's a Jay-Z shrine, basically. You know what I mean? Yeah. But when you get into Baseline, it's like, oh. So this is what, like you said, this is where the magic happened, because they always made it seem like Baseline was like a party atmosphere, real high energy. And then you see the songs, not just Hove, all the Beans work, the Dipset work, no disrespect to Bleak. Bleak had a couple of joints, the Kanye work, you know what I'm saying? A lot of great shit came out of Baseline Studios, the Rockefeller home base. So to see what the main room looked like, immaculate. Like, I could have left after that. But I think the thing that stood out to me was when we went upstairs and they had that little mini doc where they kind of did like a 5-minute documentary of basically running through Jay-Z's entire adulthood in 5 minutes. And you get to really realize, as much as people, you know, they say what they say about Jay and selling out, and they don't like his business practices. And I'm not one to challenge it. Sincere's told me on many occasions he doesn't agree with what Hove does, and I gotta respect that. But like seeing him say when he was rocking his dirty lovers, being a straight up hood nigga, saying we doing business this way and we're gonna own our shit, like some random, like in a club, so man, one of those random interviews. And he's like, yo, we're going to do business our way. We're going to own our shit. And I'm sitting here like, Yo, he really been saying this the whole time. He didn't say he was trying to own this shit after volume 2. He was saying that before Reasonable. So it's like to get mad about the type of shit he's been on when he been on that before the bread, it's kind of tricky to me. Because watching that really shed light on, like, he really been trying to be a boss the entire time. When he talked about niggas having to sell their publishing and shit like that, he been talking about artists, and that kind of led to, I would say, like some of the ill will between him and some of these rappers, because he was kind of mocking their practices because they felt like he's saying they sold the publishing for the bread. I'm like, damn, Jay, you really been talking down to niggas your whole career. That's why niggas don't fuck with you now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that right there was ill to see. I really like the attention to detail. You know what I'm saying? It really kind of like brought it home for me too, you know, because I think we said something, I forgot what episode it was. We were doing a lunch hour and we were talking about Jay-Z's impact. And, oh, Jay-Z don't got no impact, this and that. The women don't like Jay-Z. And I'm like, bro, there was a lot of women Saturday and Sunday. I saw I saw one woman go to one of the little glass setups with the albums. I think it was a black album or something next to it. She literally was hugging the glass. This is a woman doing this. You know what I mean? There were a lot of women. Now, don't get me wrong. There wasn't no young women there, but women who were in their primes when Jay-Z was popular, they were all of them, the 47-year-old women who still trying to hold on to keep it tight. They had their best Sunday outfits on. If you don't believe me, ask Pegasus, he could confirm it. They was really trying to put on for Jay-Z. Like,
nah, let's keep it a whole buck. There was shorties out on Saturday. Saturday was when the shorties was out. But then Sunday was more, you know what I mean, like rainy day season. So all the shorties came out on the nice day on Saturday.
And if you're from Brooklyn, I want to be clear. Like, since they're not from Brooklyn, so he don't understand. That line, if you get to the loop on Flatbush and Eastern Parkway, the line was halfway to Empire Boulevard. If you know Brooklyn, now imagine how long that line has to be from the loop all the way halfway to Empire. Bro, it was a long line, B. So it got me to even thinking, and it's like with this whole podcast experience, and I love our listeners. Salute to Deanie with a super chat. I guess that confirms that Deanie won't be with us tonight. We got the Deanie super chat. LP, me and Brick debate. Who you and who debating? We don't that redacted is not sanctioned at the Rap Round Table. We don't care who you debating if it's that nigga. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, what it did for me. Thank you for the super chat, though, LP. We love you. It kind of shed light on the fact that the internet has created all of these bubbles where you could believe whatever you want to believe within your bubble, but then once you get to outside and really be outside and be in an event that, like, kind of like you go to Hip Hop 50 and you get to understand the scope of what hip hop means, being in the Bronx, Dougie Fresh, Nas, T.I., Fat Joe, especially with Fat Joe. Fat Joe really made the moment mean something. When he got on stage, the entire vibe of Hip Hop 50 changed. And you started to think outside of your bubble and understand like the scope of this shit and how much shit as New Yorkers, not to make it about New York, but as New Yorkers, how many eras we really lived through that were fire. Then we get to the Jay-Z exhibit, and it's like, y'all been saying a lot of things. But once we got out of that bubble and we see the scope, and it wasn't just Saturday and Sunday, there was posts about various lines. We were hearing about the lines of the Book of Hope for weeks now. So for y'all to say that this person is this or this person isn't that, my experience this week is something else. You know what I'm saying? So I respect y'all bubble. But the reality is both things can be true. Your favorite can be the GOAT, and my favorite can still be as lit as he was many moons ago. We don't even have to lie anymore. Hip Hop 50, if anything, this year has shown us that Jay-Z's still lit. And if you feel like Nas is the GOAT, you won't get an argument from me. Both things can be true. Why do we have to fight? We don't even have to fight no more. Facts. Both our favorite rappers are lit as fuck, and they in their 50s. Do you like I forgot who said it, but it's like, do you think that like Cole and Drake are gonna be able to do what Hov and Nas are doing in their 50s? I don't see it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like our two favorites are standing the test of time in a way that we've never seen before.
And the thing about these bubbles, just to spin back to that real quick, is that like before the internet, like you know what I mean? You might meet like one other person in your neighborhood or in your school or whatever at your job that might agree with you. You know what I mean? But now you go on the internet, you got somebody from Chicago that agrees with you, and somebody from Florida that agrees with you, and then a bunch of people from Texas that agree with you, but a bunch of people in California. Now all of a sudden, like, you're like, oh shit, so we were right the whole time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because now you have enough people that are, supporting your stance, and now you feel more emboldened to be like, oh, you know what? We're right and they're wrong. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? When it's not that at all, because the people that was telling you this the whole time, they not on the internet with you. They're they're doing something else. They're
Right.
outside. You know what I mean? So you gotta respect the people that are not on the internet with you having these conversations with you, because there's other places to have these conversations. There's real
Bro,
life
that
places to have these conversations.
that shit really, that I appreciate you for saying that, because that was really like I didn't say it to you in real time, but I was looking at the line. Even when we was inside, we was in the white room, and I looked out the window. I'm like, yo, that line is still crazy.
Still
I'm like,
going, bro.
we really operate inside of a bubble that doesn't speak to the greater majority. Because it's like, for this to go down how it went down, and even hip hop popped out at various times. You go into social medias, hip hop at various points was going to this exhibit. You know what I'm saying? Shit, Rome streets and China streets was there yesterday. Granted, we didn't want them to see us. You know what I mean? I tilted my umbrella down and shit because we was looking crazy on that line. we was looking
Nah,
crazy on that line.
yo, I'm
You know what I
gonna
mean?
keep it a whole buck. I felt so broke on that line, bro. Like
My-
Rome popped out.
yo,
Rome popped out real quick on some superstar shit. Slid into
son.
his fucking Benz, and I'm on this line like, God damn, I got another 45 minutes.
And then the sick part of it is that's why I feel like our podcast is really curb the enthusiasm, bro. Because the sick part of it is the spot where we standing on the line, the nigga car is like right there. So I'm like, oh
Right
fuck.
there, bro.
He was just with the
couldn't
guy
have
on
been any
Friday
better, bro.
lacking, but I'm like, nah, I'm on this line. I don't want to be seen. Let me just
I am
put my
not on this
umbrella like
line,
this.
bro.
You
Nope.
know what I mean? But it's like, we got to stop this foolishness. We got two all-time greats literally making history, whether you like the history or not. It's history nonetheless, and we got to start putting things in a proper perspective about rap. Fuck all this competition bullshit. Can to say, you see how Big Gip is always fixing his mouth to talk about New York? Which one of they legends is gonna have an exhibit? You know what I mean? And not the trap house shit that motherfucking 2 Chainz got. Which one of them is gonna do that? Which one of them is gonna have the scope to have a career like this legendary in their 50s, like Nas putting out classic raps, or have an impact so big that the whole city pops out just to see the niggas his historical acclaim in real time? Who's gonna do that? Nobody's doing that. Is T.I. gonna be able to do that, Sin? I don't think so. Maybe Wayne, but Wayne ain't from Atlanta. He's from New Orleans.
Yeah.
Like New York is still.
If anybody should do it, it should be T.I.
Come on now. He ain't
You know
do
what I mean?
enough though. He didn't do
Yeah,
enough. There's
yeah.
no. I'm putting it on wax. There's no Atlanta rapper right now that could do what Nas or Jay-Z has done. They don't exist. They didn't do enough.
They could have,
You know
they
what
could
I'm
have
saying?
one. They could have one room, but
Oh,
but the whole building the way Hove did. I
come
don't
on
know.
now. But Sim,
I
we
don't
got to
know.
be fair because we're the rap round table. As much as there were a lot of pros at the Book of Hove, there were some cons. We talked about it a little bit as we were walking through, and I see it in the chat, and we got to speak to it. If you don't like Jay-Z, the Book of Hope did nothing to quell your dislike. In fact, it feeds in to everything you don't like about Jay-Z. So, from your vantage point, what do you say to that?
Well, I want to make one point first before we jump into that, because and I told you this, job as we was pulling out
Mhm.
of the exhibit. I was like, yo, I'm gonna go home and watch this Michael Jackson documentary that I've been hearing about Thriller. Michael Jackson Thriller is his 40th anniversary. And I'm watching the documentary, and they're talking about Thriller and how it was being put together in real time, and how Michael Jackson was trying, he was consciously trying to be everything to everybody. You know what I mean? And it drove the point home, having come from this Jay-Z exhibit, and then watching this documentary, and it just, like, making that connection is like, this is both why people love and hate Jay, because Jay was trying to be everything as much as he could be to as many people as possible. You know what I mean? So, like, the same way that Michael Jackson had like a disco joint, a straight R&B joint, a fucking adult contemporary ballad with Paul McCartney, a rock song. He had all of this shit on Thriller. That's the same way that Jay-Z eventually ended up approaching music. You look at the Black Album. his whole approach to the Black Album originally was to be the hip hop Thriller, to have like basically all like he was planning it for it to be all singles, all hits. Like he could put out the whole album song by song and all of them would be a single. You know what I mean? And that's how we approach music. And the thing is that like while we grew up with Michael Jackson already being such a staple in culture, after we reach a certain age and we're looking at Jay-Z, some of us appreciate the fact that he was able to be so many things to so many people. And the Book of Hov exhibited all of that. You go into the room where he had all the early hip hop classics, Dead Presidents and In My Lifetime, and like all of these vinyls. Then you go into the room with all the trophies. Then you go into the room with all his business plannings, right? Like that. Those are all different facets of the same person, where he was trying to build this, this entity. He's trying to build himself into this entity where like there's no corner of the culture that he did not touch and that he was not a part of. But at the same time, there are people that hate that about him. There are people that hate the fact that like he seems to have built himself into such an entity where like they feel like he's ignoring the culture. You know what I mean? I wasn't old enough to have these conversations with Michael Jackson was making Thriller, but I'm sure there was people that was mad, like, yo, why is he making this rock song? Yo, why is he on this joint with Paul McCartney? Like, what is he doing? He was consciously trying to cross over. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's people that was like, yo, why can't he make another Off the Wall? Do that again. You know what I mean? But it depends on who the artist is and what their aspirations are. And Hov definitely, he had these aspirations to go to rep for the culture, but also go beyond the culture and be more than just
for better or worse. For better or worse. Because we got shit like this, like Damn It Man, and Jay-Z ain't hot right now. He ain't dropped an album in 7 years, and y'all like didn't I just say let's celebrate our legends? And this motherfucker here, he ain't get the memo. If again, let's be clear. So before we get back into the cons, if the Book of Hov's exhibit did what it did and brought the amount of people out, do you really think that this man is not hot? Like let's be like, come on, man. If all the people popped out for the exhibit, you don't think they all got fucking smartphones? Whenever that proverbial Jay-Z album or presumptive Jay-Z album drops, you think they're not gonna stream it? Like, get a fucking clue, bro. Like, let's be adults and be serious here for a second. I ain't asking for much. But nobody's comparing him to Nas. We're saying that these two are doing things that we have not seen before, whether it's contemporary classic albums, whether it's a whole fucking shrine dedicated to himself that brought out hundreds of thousands of people in New York City, the most disinterested city in the world. They're both doing things as rappers that we've never seen before, and there's no other rapper to say that they've done that. And there's nobody. This is history in the making. But again, Sin,
as a super now, let me continue. As a super fan, if you go into this Book of Hov, you came out no problems, super happy, right? If you're a hip hop fan that likes Jay-Z, but you don't got no cape, right? No cape. When you come into this exhibit, you go into, you see the album covers, you're like, all right, that's a classic. That's a classic. You know what I mean? You might see the Blueprint 3 sculpture and be like, oh shit, this sculpture's fire. You go into the room celebrating the music, all right, this is fire. But at a certain point, you go into a few rooms where it's like trophies everywhere, newspaper clippings,
a little cringy,
magazine covers. And at some point, especially that's the second to last room that we went to before we went into, we kind of went into it out of order. We should have gone into the music room first. But before the second, so that second to last room we went to, where it had like that small miniature version of the Barclay, right? And then it also had a bunch of newspaper clippings, a bunch of Time magazine covers, a couple of trophies here and there, some signed footballs for some reason, I don't know why. At a certain point, you're like, all right, bro, like we get it. This is a little self-indulgent, and by a little I mean a shit ton of self-indulgence, bro. Like, come on. Like, I understand you have to fill the space out. Pause. You have to fill the space out, but at a certain point, it was just like it's a little overkill. It's a bit too much, and you know what I mean. I understand his Hove, but a little overly self-indulgent.
And I agree with you on that front because it's like again, people the argument is, and we see it here in the comment section. Attention, horror Hove, BCNB Incorporated says Jay-Z literally rented out a library and built a museum to honor himself, etc. So again, if you feel this way about Jay, the book of Hove solidifies everything that you feel. In fact, it makes it a fact. So you can't even argue that because I mean it is a lot. Like when you're walking from room to room, like if you really break it down, once you go to baseline, you go to the open area where all the albums is at. You got the artwork, well, the physical artwork of Blueprint 3, and you walk through that and you see a few things. Some of it is just not. Some of the things that's there is not. It's not really necessary. Again, if you're a fan, you love it. You know what I'm saying? But if you're just a fan of hip hop, that's not necessarily like a Jay-Z fan. It's a bit much, and it's like I got to be clear. I said it here on the podcast too. Like I don't believe that he didn't know, and that leads to my next point about a major con. The specific attempt made to make sure that Dame Dash was not visible anywhere in that exhibit.
Yo, we got to talk about this.
That he had a hand in this process. Again, yeah, we could celebrate Jay-Z and big him up, but we're not gonna let him off the hook either. That's the difference between us and a lot of podcasts. We always land in the middle. There was Dame Dash made the cut. Nas, you pointed out to me. Nas made the cut.
Beans was in.
Biggs is all over the place.
Yeah. Ye was in some pictures.
For Dame to specifically not be visible anywhere in that shrine tells me that you had a hand in it. Because there's no way you could say that you didn't know when Dame Dash is clearly absent. You're scrubbing it from history. That's the problem, man.
Yeah, it really is, man. Because like, regardless of what issues they have today, you know what I mean? Like, he was such an integral part in the come up. Like, even at least you know what I mean? You have the original vinyl pressings of In My Lifetime, of Dead Presidents. You have this whole music room where you're sharing pictures with all of the people you've been in the studio with Timbaland, with Ye, with Nas, with Puff, Beans, and not a single picture of not one, just one, bro. Just one. We were searching, we were looking, we didn't see it anywhere. You know what I mean? And it's a deliberate tactic to scrub Dame out of the history of Rockefeller and Jay-Z's ascent. And that's not fair. It really isn't. Regardless of how you feel about how anybody feels about Dame, and specifically how Jay-Z feels about Dame, is still super unfair. Jazzo too. You know what I mean? Could have had a picture or two of Jazzo. You had the picture of yourself in Jazz's Benz in London, blown up. That was Jazz's Benz, bro. You blew that shit up, but you can't have a picture of Jazz nowhere.
You know what I'm saying?
Jazz anyway. God damn, bro.
You know what? I understand. People have fallouts. You know what I mean? Like I get it. 120%. There was Jazz said some things that put him in the bad book. We know Dame. To me, Dame was bad money before the breakup of Rockefeller. I believe that whatever Dame was or whoever Dame was, I'm not even sure if Jay-Z ever even liked Dame, because it's the way this has gone, the amount of money they made together. Sometimes you could get money with somebody, and in your heart of hearts, you really don't like them. And the more time goes along, I'm starting to believe that he never liked Dame, but Dame was a means to an end. Somebody asked if Biggs was there. Yo, Biggs was all over there. That's what I'm trying to show. Biggs is, if you ask me, Biggs is part of Rock Nation. Like, he still celebrates the Rock. He's at every major Rock Nation event. Biggs will be there. The brunches, Biggs is there. So again, it's like, did you not like Dame? Is there some sour energy? What's going on there? You know what I'm saying? Beanie Siegel almost didn't make the cut. I only saw one photo of Beanie, and again, you had to show me that, son. Because it's like, if you spoke ill of Jay-Z, you didn't make the cut. Shit, nigga, Irv Gotti made the cut. I think somebody said OG Wan and Desiree made the cut. Tata made everybody except those three people, well, two people, Damon and Jazzo. And Jazzo walking around with that Rockefeller chain. You were sick, nigga. It couldn't be me. You know what I'm saying? No. So it's like, again, while I love what it represents, and some people, I want to pull that comment up because it's like he made a decent comment. He was saying that Here's the difference. Nas is building an entire museum for hip hop and the entire culture. There you go. It speaks. The Book of Hove speaks to everything. If you don't like Hove, he made every point. It was almost like you play spades. Like the Book of Hove is the boss to him. Like you, you know what I'm saying? You got all 10 books in your hand. You landed with that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, as much as I love it, I felt like put the petty shit to the side. Give him some pictures of Dame. Let's get the Big Pimpin' video shoot, the Izzo video shoot. Like, it could just be a couple just to have them there, because without Dame, there's no Jay-Z. I'm sorry. Jay was the talent.
It's
but
crazy
the business,
because I specifically remember walking through the White Room, and there's a vinyl cover of what was it, the Nutty Professor soundtrack with Hey Poppy. You know what I mean? And all I remember from that video is Dame like strutting up to the camera and hitting the Dame with the bottle in his hand. That's the one visual that sticks out from that song.
I'm gonna be clear. The cool effect that Rockefeller was selling outside of the music, Dame Dash played a big role in what made Rockefeller cool. He controlled the imagery. Whatever Rockefeller put out there, Dame Dash was the cool filter. So for you to push him to the side, that's crazy to me. Like you can't, like, again, Jay was a talent, and maybe Dame was talking crazy. Maybe Dame was talking how for years before we ever even knew of it. Maybe he was always saying he made Jay-Z. And again, it's tricky, like to say, like, I made a nigga. Like, you got out of bounds with that. And then maybe Hove can't, maybe that's just sit right with Hove. But it's like, he was who he was before he got here. To quote you, Jay-Z, Dame been Dame. So don't do that to him now. You on stage with Cam and Jim Jones, but you can't be cool with Dame? That's beyond me. Like, that's the biggest issue. Like, put the petty shit to the side. Niggas is old. Y'all niggas isn't got 50s. What the fuck going on? Hey, y'all rich. Like, cut it out.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Any more takeaways before we go into the next topic?
Nah, man. Shouts to Hove. Happy birthday to Hove. Legendary, one of the GOATs. You know what I mean? Book of Hove. If somebody's gonna have it, it's gonna be him. But you know what I mean? Again, maybe turn around and do something for the rest of the culture.
Something.
You know what I mean?
Something. And not just the album. At this point, you better be at the fucking first day of the hip hop museum performing with Nas or some shit. Because again, you gotta be, honestly, you've been politicking your whole career, Jay. Read the fucking room. Niggas want a little bit more from you. Like not just your fans. Your fans, we satisfied, but the greater majority, they want a little bit more of that ambassador shit for hip hop, not corporate America. Hear us out. As you hear, if you pulled in, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. We know about like 35 to 40% of y'all watch the videos. Y'all haven't hit the subscribe button yet. Hit that subscribe button so that y'all can stay in tune with us as we move along. Again, we are moving in the right direction. We got a couple of surprises in the tuck. One of them you could probably anticipate. Another one that you definitely don't know is coming, but we're building towards, the brand is growing. You know what I'm saying? If you've been following us on Instagram, I told y'all, follow us on Instagram, follow us on socials, because every layer of the Rap Roundtable is just a little bit different. If you've been following us on Instagram, you see we have been at a couple of events. We're meeting some more people. We made some friends along the way in our podcast journey. And, they're opening opportunities and doors for us so that we can bring them to our platform and build with y'all the chat. So make sure you follow us on all of the social media platforms, Rap Roundtable on Instagram, the Rap Roundtable on Facebook, and Rap Roundtable PC on X. But people, we know why you're here. We know why you're here. The Rap Roundtable is a gift that continues to give, We can't talk about Jay-Z on his birthday without talking about the greatest birthday gift of all time. Is Ether the GOAT birthday gift? Let's talk about it.
Ether is absolutely the best petty birthday gift of all time, man. You could not think of a better petty gift to give somebody that you hate than to intertwine one of, if not the greatest diss record of all time with the man's birthday. You can't even bring it. You go to Twitter, half of it is happy birthday Hove, the other half is happy birthday Ether. You know what I mean? Like, it's eternally intertwined. Nas, look, man, a lot of times people look at Nas not like not having played the game. But bro, when he played the game, he played it masterfully. This is a masterful move that is 22 years old today, to just intertwine Jay-Z's birthday with Ether, man. again, regardless of how you feel about the record itself, there's debates. Which one was better? Was Takeover actually better than Ether? Was it a better song? Which one had more facts? It really doesn't matter at the end of the day because it's about the perception and the history that was made. And the history will tell you Ether is now a verb. To ether somebody. You don't say you took over. You know what I mean? When you diss somebody, it's not a takeover. It's ether. You ether that person. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Ether, one of if not the greatest diss records of all time, forever intertwined with Ho's birthday. It couldn't have been written any better.
Yo, listen, man. Yo, this is the GOAT birthday gift. But for all the reasons that Sincere laid out. I like a good rivalry. When you got a good rivalry, it makes you, bring out the best in yourself as far as being a competitor. And to me, Ether, song aside for a second, just the day it was dropped is the ultimate checkmate in a rivalry. You know what I mean? Like Nas is a peaceful dude. Don't get me wrong. He gets active sometimes. He talks his shit sometimes. But to me, like, it just speaks to how personal their rivalry was, that he was like, you know what? Fuck this nigga. I'm gonna ruin his fucking birthday. I'm gonna drop this bitch ass big lip nigga. Like, but you gotta think about all the things that Nas was saying about Jay before, because he could have put this out weeks in advance. He decided on December 4th, I'm gonna drop this because fuck him and his bum ass mustache. Like right there, and be clear, as a Jay-Z fan, Ether is not allowed to be played in my house. When Ether comes on, turn that shit off. Like, we not playing Ether in my fucking house. Like that, like we not doing that. I give Nas all this respect in the world. Y'all know that. But when it comes to Ether, turn that shit off. We not listening to that. It's not even my birthday. Now, listen, don't put Ether on around me, bro. You want my mood to be spoiled? Turn it off.
Like China on that Rome record.
Fuck out of here, bro. Yo, listen, turn the shit off.
China and Rome, yeah.
But bro, like that play right there is a genius play, and I always think back to what I respected about Ether was he said everything people had been saying quietly about Jay during his run, but they never had the gumption to say it out loud. Maybe the Terror Squad niggas, you know what I'm saying? But like outside of that, who was really talking that hot to Jay-Z? And like everybody thought Jay was ugly. A lot of people thought he wasn't lit before Biggie passed away. A lot of niggas said a lot of things about Jay. Yeah. And Nas compiled all of that
on your own shit
on his birthday on a steaming platter of fuck you. Here's Ether. You know what I mean? You son of a bitch. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's really personal. And I can't believe this nigga, bro. Like, there's no escaping it. This man wakes up, he can't go on the socials today. Because if this is why Jay-Z don't have an Instagram, a consistent one, because he knows every day, every year on December 4th, it's gonna be a bunch of Nas fans putting Ether in caps in his comment section. That I done figured it out. I done cracked the case. That's why he's not on social media. Because he know y'all niggas is gonna troll him. He can't handle that shit. He can't diss everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, thankfully for him, he's in a place where he doesn't have to play the social media game like at all. You know what I mean? And that's a different level of success when you don't have to go on Instagram or Twitter or anywhere to promote anything. You pull up to CBS Channel 2 on television. You know what I mean? With Gayle King. You know what I mean? You could fucking pull up on Oprah. What do you got to go on Instagram for? You know what I mean?
Sheesh. Well, that's why. If you Nas fans, listen real quick. Go to that CBS video. It's on YouTube right now. Everybody go type Ether in the comment section right now. Some from Rock Nation's watching that shit. I believe you when I tell you. But absolutely, thumbs up or thumbs down. Is Ether the GOAT birthday gift? Let us know in the chat. And we got another topic before we get out of here. This is a quick live. It's real slow in hip hop, so we're not really going too crazy with y'all. You know what I mean? But Mace was supposed to be here for this topic, but the chatty boys are gonna have to do it without Macito. No Dini. To say you a chatty boy today, bro. I'm sorry.
All right, I guess yeah, I'm gonna put the costume on.
Don't look so excited, man. Come on. Joe Budden on his podcast says that NBA Youngboy or Youngboy Never Broke Again. I'm confused as to what his name is these days. Is trash. This is a layup for you, Sincere. You heard Joe Budden say this.
Did he
I'm
lie?
sure you agreed.
Did he lie? Where's the lie? I don't
I don't know.
understand. You know what I mean? Listen, man. We've talked about it here at the round table before. Like, certain people, certain artists in the younger demographic, they're able to tap into like a certain lane, a certain niche, and then they attack it. And if they continue attacking it, they're gonna see some success. That's where I put NBA Youngboy at. Like, you know what I mean? There's nothing from NBA Youngboy that will ever like cross over, or that will be considered like a timeless music, or that will be have a timestamp to it. But he found a niche that for whatever reason was fucking with him, and he was like, yo, I'm gonna just put out material every day, every month, every other month. Right?
Sin, can I just jump in for a quick second?
Like crazy.
Stay right there.
Yeah.
Shout out to Iceberg Slim with the super chat. But Iceberg, you from Ohio, and you got a blue Yankee on with it tilted to the side. I wonder why. I wonder why. Carry on, Sid.
And so yeah, he's seen a lot of success. Listen, I don't know. Mace would be able to speak to this more better than I would, but like, you know what I mean? I don't know how authentic a lot of those streaming numbers are. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna just leave it there. But yeah, he's had success, but in terms of like his rapping ability, in terms of MCing, in terms of bars, NBA Youngboy is trash.
Oh.
Joe Budden is not lying. Is he lying? Where is he lying at? He's trash. And of course, NBA Youngboy is gonna hear it and start wilding out. You know what I mean? You playing right into his game plan. You know what I mean? But Joe wasn't lying. NBA Youngboy is trash. Always been trash.
I guess that's the question: is where's the lie? Like, if you're new to the rap roundtable, for the vets, y'all already know where I'm going with this. I've been asking this question since the podcast started. Like, he's one of the most streamed artists in the world, allegedly. But me personally, and I've worked in a high school for many, many, many years, I've never once come across an NBA Youngboy fan. Where are they? Where are they at? Or does no New York kid listen to Youngboy? You know what I mean? Then I listened to his music, and I think he rhymed on the story of OJ beat. He dropped a freestyle last week on that beat, and I'm like, this guy is garbage. Like I didn't think.
I think I'd heard that before. I don't think it was new.
You actually
I think it just made the rounds again.
I'm impressed that you actually gave it a chance, Sin. I'm proud of you, bro. You've come a long way. Back in the day, you would have just scrolled past it. You know what I mean?
Look, when people start talking about certain artists and start holding them to that highest esteem, I gotta tap in and be like, let me try to hear what they hear. And I consciously sit there and I try to, I don't know, I try to like figure out the pocket or the flow. I'm trying to take myself out of myself. I'm not Sincere the Rap Snob in that moment. I'm just like a new fan with new ears, and I'm trying to be like, yo, let me try to hear what these people are hearing, because like they're trying to tell me, like, oh, you're not initiated. You don't have the right ear for it, and I'm trying to like develop the right ear, and my ears ain't earing the way they're supposed to try to hear this shit.
Yo,
it just doesn't happen.
And it's like, I know that it's the rhetoric, right? It's this whole rhetoric about old guy hates young guy. We get it. We're used to it here in hip hop. It's been a constant thing since I was a kid. Shit, when I was listening to Hove and loving the Dynasty, my OGs didn't like Jay-Z. They didn't like none of the new rap. They hated it. They wanted the 80s shit. It's a generational thing to want the old heads to not like the young guys. But again, I like young rappers. You know what I mean? I listen to this guy and I'm like, I just don't see it. I don't understand what it is. Like Iceberg said that they out in the Midwest, the Youngboy fans, but you telling me there's no New York kids? The New York kids are not the New York adults. Let's be clear. The New York kids listen to everything. So if the New York kids would rather listen to Batman voice drill as opposed to Youngboy, that means he's trash to me. In my opinion, that's trash. He's trash. You know what I mean? Joe Budden not saying nothing that. Like, what does he rap about? Like, I see Debo, Samuel from the 49ers coming out to Youngboy music. That's why they ain't win a Super Bowl. If they was listening to something else, they'd have won a Super Bowl. But if you come and shimmy into Youngboy before the pregame, that's why y'all gonna lose in the NFC Championship game again. You know what I mean? And, see, iceberg, sir. You're not out here, gang. Like, the New York kids don't only listen to drill. Like, this whole New York Bias 3 is on the way. And this whole idea that all little niggas do in New York is listen to drill music is so not factual. And if you're not from the towns, I got a phrase that I use a lot. Sin knows it very well. Stay out of New York business if you're not from the towns. You don't know what's going on out here. But nevertheless, Youngboy's trash. I ain't never heard that fire Youngboy. The melodic shit trash. Everything about it is trash to me. He just honestly, like, and this is me being an old head, he just got bad energy to me. Like he, all of his rapping to me, everything he rap about, his whole persona is just bad energy, bad influence. Like I don't want my children listening to Youngboy. Like that's how I feel when I look at that nigga. B. I'd rather put on gang banging ass Pop Smoke, rest in peace, than listen to fucking Youngboy. That shit trash. Where the Southern niggas at? Fucking I'd rather listen to, what's this dude's name again? With the ski mask, the Pooh Shiesty. Give me some Pooh Shiesty. You know what I'm saying? I'll listen to them guys. I'll even listen to JID. I don't want this guy. They can trash to me.
I was about to bring up JID.
42 Doug. These guys are fire. Like what?
As a perfect example of, you know, a young artist, a young rapper, MC, who's dumb nice. You know what I mean? I may not love all of his albums as much as some other people, but like when I hear him spit, dumb nice. When I hear him freestyle, dumb nice. You know what I mean? There's some songs, there's several songs, and look at him now. You know, blowing up on TikTok, off of that ceiling challenge or whatever that shit is called. You know what I mean? I love to see that. You know what I mean? Because it's an MC who's nice, who got flow, who got pocket, who got dexterity, and he's seeing success from it. I love it. I love that.
And be clear, like I like Kodak Black. You know what I mean? I'll listen to Kodak. Sin, I know that's where you draw the line, but I'll listen to Kodak. I hear Youngboy, and I'm just like, what is the appeal? I can find the appeal in a lot of young acts. The only person matter of fact, let me rephrase. Youngboy makes the cut barely. There's only one young Southern rapper who will never make the cut for me, and that's Lil Yachty. Lil Yachty is garbage. Like, he's the worst thing that ever happened to rap, in my opinion. But it's like,
who's more trash, Yachty or Youngboy?
Yachty doesn't have any rap talent. I don't even know how he got a deal, bro. Like, how?
He can barely talk. I don't understand.
Oh shit! Wow.
He can barely enunciate.
Wow. Speaking of Yachty, before we get out of here, because we done panned it. We agree with Joe Budden. No disrespect to the NBA family. It's not personal. As rap fans and people who love the culture, that love hip hop, that's what we feel about that. But I forgot that Lil Yachty doubled down on his whole perspective that hip hop is in trouble. Sincere rap snob, he's doubling down.
He doubled down?
He doubled down, bro. Ugh. Sexy Red is the worst thing ever. Yeah, I agree. You know what? I forgot. Sexy Red is part of the CIA. You know what I mean? Like, she's an agent. You can't tell me differently. Don't even debate me on it. She is an agent. She's meant to distract people. I believe that 100. And I'm not even a conspiracy theorist, but I believe she's meant to distract people. She's twerking and barefoot twerking and pregnant on the stage. Like, what's going on? Young black girl and matter of fact, see, Political Job is not here tonight. I'm not doing that. Lil Yachty said that hip hop is in trouble. Is anybody more tone deaf than Yachty, son?
Shit, I don't think so, man. He's first in line for tone deaf of the year.
No, Adri, no.
Don't do it, Adri. Jesus Christ.
This is why your DMs look the way they look, Adri. That's why. That's why.
Yo,
carry on, son.
You gonna sell them fit? Nah, let me chill. Let me chill. Hey, look, I got a little something to Cash App. Yeah,
all right.
Let me leave it alone. Yeah, nah, man, Yachty. The thing about Yachty is that he like, it's almost to the point where he's tone deaf on purpose. You know what I mean? So I can't, like, I have to feel like he's trolling everybody. But the thing is that I feel like his whole career is a troll career. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like he's, and it's, again, I feel like it's something generational where the younger generation will reward the trolls. You know what I mean? And if you troll well enough or hard enough or often enough, you'll get rewarded. And I feel like Yachty is his whole career, his whole rapping style, his whole musical approach, it's all trolling. It's like it's almost like, yo, I know I'm not nice. I know I don't have any actual musical talent, or I know I don't actually have any rapping talent, but I'm gonna do it anyway, right? Just to piss the old people off, just to piss the old heads off. And he managed to fucking find an audience that wants to do the same shit and come along for the ride with him. So yeah, man. Tone Deaf of the Year award.
Listen,
Perpetually on my lawn, man.
yo,
Forever and always.
I got one question for the scribes, for the people who put the microphone in front of Mr. Yachty. Why the fuck do y'all keep asking him his opinions of hip hop, knowing what hip hop, not rap, rap and hip hop are not the same. Knowing what hip hop thinks of Lil Yachty, what hip hop is he speaking about? Let me know. What culture is he protecting? Because if you let Lil Gib Lil Gib, see how I'm fucked up. You don't let actually Lil Gib, I like that. You let Lil Gib tell it. Hip hop is in a great place because it's in Atlanta. Then this scrub ass Atlanta rapper is saying hip hop is in danger. Boy, if hip hop is in danger, it's because of you, Yachty. It's because you have a voice. It's because you have a say. It's because you're next to the most popular commercial rapper in the world, curating one of his wackest, if not his wackest project that was so bad that he had to run back with Scary Hours 3 weeks later to fucking make up for the fuck shit that he put out that you put your stamp on. You know what I mean? Fuck out of here. Like stop asking Yachty, who means nothing to hip hop. To rap, maybe. To young rap, yes. But to hip hop, he means nothing. Stop asking him because we will never give a fuck. Even the moderately young guys do not give a fuck about what Yachty thinks about rap. He's not talented enough on any. If he's an A&R maybe, but as a music maker, he's not talented enough. And again, if you ever wanted to wonder what he is as a rapper, the joint with him, he fucked up with that joint with J. Cole because that tells you forever. It's a moment in time, the time capsule. Shows you how trash he is. It shows you just how far the levels are between good and Lil Yachty. Not even great, good. You know what I'm saying? LP gave us a super chat. You know what, LP, right? You did drop your $2, but you mentioned redacted. So it's like, you know,
yeah.
But this is for you, Sandilla.
Yeah, I'll chime in. I hate to do it to Q-Tip, but like, it's Dilla. Like, it's not even, and it's not even a question to me, honestly. I mean, Q-Tip, the the early Tribe albums, of course. You know what I mean? The work with Nas, of course. The work with Mob, of course. But Dilla, what he did in terms of beat making and producing and his technique, it's far and away beyond. You know what I mean? So I'm going with Dilla all day, every day.
You know what? New York Bias 3 is on the way. So we going with the abstract on bias and bias alone. Fuck the facts. Keep your facts. Don't let the facts get in the way of a cool story. New York, Q-Tip, the forefather of this shit. Fuck out of here.
But let's be real, because I mean, Dilla, his main influence was Pete Rock. But let's be real, Dilla doesn't get to where he's at without Q-Tip as well, without joining the UMA for the later Tribe albums, and also just technique wise. You know what I mean? You hear a lot of that Q-Tip influence in Dilla, but like what Dilla ended up doing is out of this world, bro.
No, that's a fact. All joking aside, I would say without people like Sin, Dilla wouldn't even get the flowers he deserves. It's like it's a decent contingent of people who know that keep Dilla in all those conversations. You know what I'm saying? Because like how you get like the love and adulation for like a Timbaland, a Neptunes, even the Q-Tip. You know what I'm saying? A Swiss Beats, a Pete Rock, Primo, a Kanye. I feel like Dylan ain't no come up in that same breath. The octave, the you know when you record how the waves is really big. His waves don't it's not as big as you yell at a Kanye or somebody like that. So people like you, I feel like are necessary to remind people how important because he's one of the most inspirational for the newer era, in my opinion. Especially based on the shit that you've talked about and the beats if you played, the shit you throw on Twitter. He's one of the most inspirational that we've ever had.
Kanye is on wax saying talking about the influence that Dilla had on him and how in certain respects like Kanye himself, and this is Kanye talking, this is the most self-absorbed motherfucker in the world, but the way he talks about Dilla, he's like, yo, like there's things Dilla did that I would never be able to do, drum wise, sequencing wise, layering wise, sonic wise. Yeah, man, like somebody, you know what I mean, like somebody was listening to the Q-Tip and Tribe hits, of course, you know what I mean, but there's, you know what I mean, every conversation can't boil down to just the hits or just what's popular, you know what I mean, like if you delve a little bit deeper and actually put your ear to what Dilla produced, how he produced it, how it sounded, how innovative it was, it's a whole different story, you know what I mean.
Did you see this comment here? Did you watch the Choices Yours documentary? Is a part of it about him?
I haven't yet. It's on my queue, but I haven't.
Okay. You know what I mean? If you're not familiar with Dilla, follow Cicada Rap Snob on Twitter. He's on. If it's one person in my circle I know it's gonna put on for Dilla, it's Cicada Rap Snob. But if you pay attention to the Rap Round Table, there's certain people will never speak ill of Dilla. There's no Dilla slander at the Rap Round Table. You know what I mean? We know, we understand. And again, we appreciate your time pulling up for this live short news. We talked about whole birthday. We talked about Ether. We talked about a young rapper that's trash. We gave y'all what y'all wanted in a little over an hour. Elami asking Adri if she got a YouTube show in the works. Nah, she comes to the Rap Round Table. Elami, you want to type in with Adri? Pull up over here. She'll be back on the Monday Live pretty soon.
Yo, real quick, JC88, put up his comment. JC88, Dilla might be the best pure beat maker. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, there's always going to be that back and forth conversation between producer and beat maker, and where those two things kind of cross over and meet each other. But like, yeah, you know what I mean. If we're talking like production, discography, and hits type of conversation, Dilla's not going to come up. But if we're talking about pure beat making, Dilla's the go to me. That's that.
And with that said, Cecilia, you can take us home, bro.
Yeah, man. For the Rap Round Table, Deanie, I don't know where he was at. Mace was on his way for an hour and never made it. So shouts to those two guys. I'm sure, I mean, the shit is busy. I mean, we got what we got coming up to 86. We're about
86 is on deck. Lunch hour coming soon.
86 lunch hour later on this week on Friday as usual. You know what I mean? Shouts to Hove, 53rd birthday. Shouts to the Book of Hove. Shouts to the 22nd anniversary of Ether. You know what I mean? Youngboy is trash. And for the Rap Round Table, Jov, Sincere the Rap Snob, I make beats, holla at me, and we out of here.
Yes, sir. All right.